Where are the people that own Stephen A? She not gonna do that. Let her cook. I want to know what y'all saying now.
Caitlin Clark, the athlete with the most fouls this season and a black eye at one point, was not being targeted by players, according to another analyst. Hopefully, Caitlin may use her vacation time to research European solutions that will synchronize ESPN and WNBA, giving them nothing to talk about.
Now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented. We're not putting the best.
It appears that ESPN and its analysts are unable to handle the heat that Caitlin brings, particularly now that there are rumors that she may move to Europe rather than pursue her career in the WNBA. ESPN has spent the entire season disparaging and undermining Caitlin, frequently downplaying her accomplishments while favoring others. Now that they are facing the very real possibility that the player they have consistently disrespected may leave the spotlight in America and take her talents overseas, they're panicking because they know full well that losing Caitlin would be a huge blow to their viewership and content.
Versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to the next.
ESPN has been downplaying Caitlin's abilities for months, frequently drawing comparisons between her and Angel Ree, another rising star in women's basketball. From the beginning of the season, ESPN promoted the idea that Caitlin Clark, despite her undeniable star power, was somehow falling short of the high standards set for her following her record-breaking college career at Iowa. With ESPN pundits like Molly Cum and Monica McNutt stoking the debate, the comparison appeared to go on forever. Caitlin's ranking among the league's best players and the idea that the women's game was being ridiculed by her manner of play.
We're making a basketball argument.
We're not saying No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
The harsh critiques felt deliberate, almost as if ESPN had made it their mission to diminish Caitlin's success by constantly positioning her in the shadow of her peers rather than recognizing Caitlin's contributions to the game. They seemed intent on tearing her down, questioning whether she truly belonged among the WNBA's elite. But here's where the karma comes in. ESPN is now panicking because if Caitlin Clark moves to Europe, they won't be able to talk about her anymore. That's right, the same player they trashed all season long for not being a true star might pack her bags and leave, taking her massive fan base with her. ESPN's inability to recognize Caitlin's impact from the start could end up costing them dearly. For months, ESPN framed Caitlin as only being valuable due to her ability to draw viewership, arguing that she wasn't truly a star on the court, but merely a product of media hype. Yet now, with the very real possibility of her departure looming, they're scrambling to reverse that narrative.
Value is felt every place she goes, every arena she goes. TV, ratings.
They've realized that Caitlin is far more than just a player. They've built entire storylines and discussions around her presence. Losing her to Europe wouldn't just impact ESPN's content, but could also send shockwaves through the WNBA, both of whom relied heavily on her appeal to drive engagement and
response of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her, is like, whoa, bro. Like, also, like, you're not mentioned talking about women's basketball. I've never ever seen you before in my life.
Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe were among the few voices who consistently defended Caitlin Clark throughout the season, reminding audiences of her undeniable greatness on the court. Both Smith and Sharpe recognized that Caitlin was being unfairly targeted not only by ESPN but also by WNBA players, largely due to her rookie status and the massive amount of attention she garnered during her time in college. They argued that the scrutiny she faced was excessive and that she had already proven herself as one of the top talents in the game. However, even with their backing, Caitlin was subjected to a barrage of criticism from other ESPN analysts, particularly Molly Karam and Monica McNutt. PN analysts constantly critiqued her, while WNBA players also set their sights on Caitlin, seeing her as the league's latest high-profile rookie who needed to be humbled and put in her place. The attention she received, both positive and negative, was overwhelming, but Caitlin didn't crack. Instead, she rose above the noise and proved her doubters wrong, delivering one of the most remarkable rookie seasons the WNBA has ever witnessed, despite the heightened criticism and target.
Right. That's what we're saying. You
no,
were right.
Molly, you did not say that, Molly.
I'm saying it.
That is what you said.
You
That
did
is
not.
what you
That's
said.
not what you said, Molly.
What are you guys
That is not.
It was no easy task for Caitlin to lead the Indiana Fever, a team that had spent years around the bottom of the WNBA, to their first playoff position in what seemed like forever. Not only did Clark survive her rookie season, but she flourished, putting on performances that silenced even her harshest critics every single week. Despite the tremendous pressure to perform, her poise and brilliance on the court were nothing short of extraordinary. She elevated a team that many had written off by showcasing her leadership and unparalleled talent.
For the WNBA to make voting not anonymous, because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know who you are. In the NBA, voting is not anonymous. Yeah. So I would love for the WNBA to make the voting so we see who put the votes where.
However, despite these achievements, ESPN was unable to change their narrative until the end of the season, when Caitlin's dominance could no longer be disregarded. At that point, they started to recognize Caitlin's brilliance, almost as if they had been supporting her the entire time. It was almost comical how quickly ESPN changed course and praised Caitlin as the star they had spent the majority of the season disparaging.
The Indiana Fever have 2 All-Stars in their starting lineup. They also have the reigning Rookie of the Year. Chicago has none of that. So the lift for Angel Reese has been much greater.
Okay, but here's the thing. Caitlin didn't need ESPN's approval, since she had already disproved everyone during a season in which she was expected to struggle and was frequently singled out by players and commentators who said she wasn't ready for the limelight. Clark Caitlin delivered in a way that nobody anticipated, and she went on to become the standout player of her rookie class. Given the pressure, stress, and targeting she has received from the league and ESPN, it would almost seem reasonable for Caitlin to think about relocating to Europe. This would send a strong message to ESPN and the WNBA about what they would be missing if they continued to undervalue one of their brightest stars.
Say her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5
That's crazy.
5.6 turnovers.
Hell of a number.
Those are hell of a numbers.
But to me, that's not dominating.
The WNBA's recent increase in viewership was largely due to Caitlin Clark's electrifying play and undeniable appeal. Without her, the league's ratings would undoubtedly suffer greatly. It's important to remember that celebrities like Caitlin have devoted, ardent fans who follow them everywhere they go, in addition to drawing in casual viewers. Her supporters will follow her to Europe if she decides to leave, and the WNBA—
Stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right, and it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlin. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite a jersey with your autograph on it, and I'll wait.
2 years ago, their average home attendance was 1,800. This year, home attendance is 177,000. Whether they were criticizing or reluctantly praising her, ESPN built a significant portion of its coverage of women's basketball around Caitlin. Her performances, games, and even off-court actions were regularly analyzed and debated. If she leaves for Europe, ESPN's content will be noticeably lacking. Caitlin's departure would create a major void in the narratives and conversations that the WNBA would undoubtedly leave behind. Caitlin Clark represents a new era in women's basketball, one in which players have more control over their careers and aren't dependent on the league or the media to define their legacy. This shift gives athletes the power to make decisions based on their own ambitions rather than outside pressures. ESPN may have spent the season trying to tear her down, but Caitlin's success speaks for itself. She's not just another gifted rookie. She's a transformative figure with the potential to elevate the league.
Day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did